Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Serial Gaming here. So I'm a little bit late today, but hopefully you guys can forgive me for that. But anyway, starting off right away, we're going to Kurasame and Aerith panel, starting with Kurasame. So Kurasame hasn't been rerun ever since his own Lost chapter. So if you still haven't get his if you still don't understand his kit or still haven't got him before, he's still one of the strongest HP damage up debuff that can be applied even when using him as a call. The debuff that Kurasame applied actually goes up to 30% HP damage taken up at 5 stacks. And it's also, he actually ties a lot of utility as a call unit because he enchant and imperil, and as well as having a something that people often overlook at, which is the speed down from the same debuff. So he doesn't take up a lot of debuff slot, only one that is really potent, and he has quite a bit of utility right there. Enchant and imperil, HP damage up, and speed down. Even if you use him as a call unit. And right now, if you're running him in a party, his EX buff now appears at quest start. So you don't have to wait out for his follow-up to be triggered. He can always start off with the follow-up just triggering all day. So after using his LD, you normally just use his additional ability for the free skill. Anyway, Kurasame, in my opinion, actually has a decent amount of HP attack from his upgrade. The only problem is, of course, if you're running him as a unit, he's kind of a hybrid between providing very good debuff while also being a semi-supportive damage dealer. The idea behind using Kurasame as a supportive damage dealer is that with the presence of stronger damage dealer right now with FR and BT of their own, Kurasame is just lacking in that part. He's fun to run with, but he's just not very viable enough as compared to those that we have right now and will be getting in the future. So that would actually be a better choice if you don't have Kurasame's kit yet to fully get all of his kit, given that Elemental Lockout is right now a thing. Yeah, Elemental Lockout is probably the worst thing about Kurasame right now because he enabled Ice Elemental, but it's not too bad still because we have stages like Celeste, so the entire Celeste synergy stages will be enabling the Ice Elemental, so Kurasame won't suffer as much. But regardless, we just want to look out for stages that doesn't enable Ice Elemental. Anyway, my thoughts on Kurasame is that he's actually good at the upgrade. He does even better at what he does before. He was always good before, he's just even better right now, and finally getting his Crystal level 90 after being missing MIA for so long. So personally, if you don't have Kurasame and you want to go for him just for his call ability, I think it's a very logical choice. But anyway, moving on from him, we'll be getting Aerith, which is the star of this banner. Aerith get her Crystal level 90 as well as a new FR during this banner. So Aerith is, let's just take a look at what she can do first. She's always a very strong unit. I don't like her as a character, but I can't deny the fact that she's so good in this game. So she's an aura bot and she batteries and heals the party. So what she has in her original kit without considering her FR is that she has debuff mitigation with her LD, as well as having a buff prevention every time she applies her debuff, which now lasted for 4 turns to all of the enemy instead of individually. So by doing so, she can actually prevent the enemy from gaining buff themselves, and it's extremely good, to be honest, this one, because while it is niche, not every stages requires such mechanism. It's not specifically tied to you having to bring Aerith to want to abuse this mechanism. Like, Aerith has so many utility outside all this. This is just an extra bonus where she can flourish up, flourish in a stage if the stage requires such mechanism. If it doesn't require it, it doesn't matter. Aerith still have a lot of things going on around her. She has FR battery, she has decent HP attack, she has very high longevity, she revives, she heals, she burst heals, she regens. She does a lot of things. So like I said, the good thing about her is she's a very strong supportive character. But the bad thing about this is that if you already have her base kit, that means that the FR is the only weapon that you're going for. And Aerith sadly doesn't gain a lot from her FR. The FR part is she needs to deal a bravery or a HP attack, a converted bravery or HP attack And of course, you need to recover the other allies' bravery, which is battery in the party. If Aerith does it herself, she gains an extra 20% of the 60% condition. So overall, Aerith can go up to 80%. Sounds pretty nice, right? But Aerith doesn't have a BT yet, so keep that in mind. And so if you're taking a look at other characters' fulfillment of her particular FR, you want to use a converted HP and bravery attack. Granted, you can just use anyone's bravery or HP attack at this point because they are all converted, but you really want those units that actually have a very strong mechanism or attack tied to this particular attack itself. So units like Charlotta, Yuna, Hope, Ignis, Penelo, all these are very good example because not only they actually have a converted bravery or HP attack, but they also recovers all batteries the entire party. Whereas if you're only looking for a very strong converted bravery or HP attack, then you're just looking at units like Rinoa, Yuri, or Magina. Note that Rinoa can actually also batteries the entire party if you gave her a good spear. Those spear that batteries the party need to have a C spear, of course. Then you need spears like Paladin Cecil, Crowl, Lilith, Yuna, or Penelo, depends on what condition you have. For Rinoa, I highly not recommend Paladin Cecil or Lilith since she doesn't actually land all those debuff and shit. So you're probably only looking at Crowl as your best option. But you're not gonna be relying on her battery as often outside of just fulfilling condition because Crowl's battery, the batteries from Crowl's spear is not a lot. So anyway, like I said, if you're running units like Rinoa, there's almost no reason for you to use Aerith FR unless you don't have Rinoa's FR. So again, Aerith is a very good character, but her main strength, or I should say the main upgrade that you want to look out for, is actually her base kit. So if you already have a base kit, in my opinion, this banner is totally skippable. You don't need to pull her FR now since she comes back later stronger with a BT, which is really good later down the line. So you can wait out for that particular banner. The same thing applies for Kurasame. Given that if you already have his LD and everything, you don't need to even pull on this banner at all for Kurasame. But in a situation where you don't have his kit yet and you want to ask whether or not this particular banner is interesting for you, I would say that Kurasame right now with the elemental lockout is not all that powerful, even with as an LD call only. So you can just safely wait out until his FR and BT, which comes back later down the line. Of course, elemental lockout is not a huge issue later down the line since it goes away. And Kurasame, like I mentioned before, is still going to be extremely viable given how we're going to be entering the Celeste synergy banner. But regardless, if you're going into that resources saving mode, this is probably a very good or very safe banner for you to skip. So personally for me, I'm just going to throw some tickets. Hopefully I can get Aerith FR this early. I know it's not productive like I mentioned before, but I'm capping in tickets and I just want to give her a try again. Anyway, that's my opinion. I personally won't be force enhancing her to the maximum. I'm just pulling her FR purely for collection purpose. I will take the free upgrade and just leave it at it is, mainly because of the fact that the upcoming month, which we have Minwoo, Hope, all this crazy ass good character is coming up in the upcoming month. So I'm saving my points and my mainly my points until that particular month, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that's my plan. What about you guys? Do let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video, guys. Cheers.